Hi, I'm Jeremiah Hindy. I'm currently an AASP major. I graduated with my degree in criminal justice and criminology from the University of Maryland last fall 14, and it definitely gave me an interesting perspective going into watching the prison state. I thought it took me back a lot into some of the studies and things that I looked into while I was completing my criminal justice degree. So the first thing was I thought it was shocking that they didn't highlight um, young African American males in this film. They highlighted two older gentlemen and two young women, um, both of which suffered from some sort of mental illness or disorder. The one young lady, Demetria, suffered from an anxiety disorder, and Crystal, the other young lady, suffered from ADHD and bipolar disorder. Um, and I don't think enough was done, actually, in terms of addressing these things and not just punishing these girls. You have a young lady who's suffering from ADHD and bipolar disorder, and you wonder why she doesn't want to go to school, or she's skipping school. What is being done to make sure that she's being protected at school? Well, I'm talking about Crystal. She's going to an alternative school, which isn't a good situation for any child, um, considering the environment that you'll be in day in and day out. She's not violent. She Her only problem is she doesn't want to go to school. She's not happy. She's suffering from depression. She's just not in a good position to achieve at a high level. Um, and that goes into the situation where you bring in Demetria, the other young lady, where her mother passed away. That's a traumatic event. What is being done to help her and her transition into going back to school or growing up and being a productive member of society? All I can see in the movie is roadblocks. She's coming from a background with low socioeconomic status. She's having problems living or coexisting with her aunt and her living situation. She's hurting because she lost a mother. But what is being done in terms of programs, in terms of counselors that can help her get over whatever she may be going through and eventually become a contributing member to society? That's on the younger spectrum. In terms of not even being involved, what can be done to have no involvement of youth and beat your terrorists in the criminal justice system? What can be done to completely eliminate that in terms of programs, in terms of helping kids deal with traumatic experiences? In terms of the two older men, Keith and McDuffie, I think that they represent a large percentage of what can be considered to be the stereotype of an African American man in the criminal justice system. They've been chronic offenders. One thing that you don't see on their rap sheets is violent crimes. 50% of the incarcerated people in this country are incarcerated because of nonviolent crimes, and these two men are no different. They've been in and out. Keith for 40 years. So what can be done in terms of not sending them to prison for minor offenses and putting them in programs to where Keith can receive his medicine for his schizophrenia, or programs where he'll be set up with some type of safety net when he leaves prison? What can be done for McDuffie and his PTSD? that's a growing problem, and it's something that's currently being talked about. And it's a hot topic in terms of veterans and their reentry into society, especially with the Iraq War and Afghanistan and the war on terror. That this is becoming a greater issue in our country, and you have a man that's been suffering from this for 46 years, and nothing has been done but to lock him up. So there has to be major changes in terms of what people, what the government, what the states are willing to do to help reduce recidivism, to help reduce um, the difficulty and inmates trying to better themselves when they leave, and to kind of just keep kids away from the trap of falling in to the criminal justice system in the first place.